Eric, in just the last 20 or 25 minutes or so, the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, they actually confirmed with us that they are investigating an officer-involved shooting that happened overnight right here. I want to set the scene for you. This is the area where it happened right here behind me. You can see that damage was really limited to those plants inside the dunes. And actually, we've not been told if there's even a person of interest yet. That they have recovered the body of this missing teen tonight. A spokesperson with the FBI tells me they were at this home off of 13th Avenue. Today alone, though, countywide, we've seen more than 62,000 voters after they say he brutally attacked and beat a shopper at the Church Street Walmart. Now, Sheriff T.J. Joyce says enough is enough. Want to show you what we're seeing around us. We've got several fire trucks sitting out here at the end of this cul-de-sac. The homeowner here tells me that down there by his garages, that area is already chest deep. For some reference, I brought out the old yardstick right here, put it in the water. Earlier today, you see most of it has been picked up. I'm going to turn the camera around. You can see, though, folks, again, just try to stay off the road if you can. Things are really slushy out there. Only one delay, and as of now, that delay is only about 15 minutes. Flip the camera around and show you just how hard it is to get out of this intersection. Some of them even caught on security cameras like this one. You're trying to cross the road, or driving down the road, or even riding a bike. This group won't let disappear. This privacy fence separating the hotel from this home, daughter of Donna Major. Turner says inmates are encouraged to open up and take this morning climbing stairs. Their concerns are with outfalls like this right here behind me. She responded to this ad right here. I'll flip the camera around and show this to you. It actually has his name on it. And look, that's the Walmart where it belongs, right over there across the street. This is the spot he found his truck stuck yesterday morning. Well, race weekend has officially come to a close here at Darlington Raceway, and Sunday's Goodyear 400 was special for a member of one pit crew who has a special tie to the Grand Strand. Each week we see cars pull into the stall on pit road for a pit stop. But who are the people responsible for pulling those stops off?
We always dreamed of being in the NFL, but I never dreamed of being in NASCAR. And now I'm in NASCAR. It's like, man, like, where was this dream at?
Jonathan Willard, or Tig, is a tire carrier for Ryan Preece, who drives the 60 car in the NASCAR Cup Series. He says each time the car comes in for a pit stop, the crew has to be very careful with each move.
What we do is kind of like unrealistic, but we want to do it correct every time, and not make any type of like mistakes or whatnot.
Though he's been in NASCAR for a decade now, he got his start playing football at Clemson before spending 2 years in the NFL. Following that stint and a few years in law enforcement, he made the jump to NASCAR. He says there were a few surprises.
Nobody really told you, the amount of pressure. I was surprised about how much pressure it is to get everything correct the first time.
During a stop, the crew has less than 10 seconds to get 4 new tires on the car and fill the car up with gas. Tig grew up in Loris and says there are similarities in the place he grew up and the sport that he now calls home.
Everybody's family, and even though everybody went kind of like different ways, kind of like here where we got everybody on different teams and whatnot, like we're still all a big family.
Despite the pit crew getting the 60 in and out of stops, the team would not see the win on Sunday at Darlington for the Goodyear 400. Still, Tig says he loves what he does and encourages everyone to chase their dreams.
Dream bigger, dream further than what you're actually dreaming now. Like don't be afraid to go out and give things a try.
And Tig tells me he loves coming back to Loris to visit his family and, of course, support those local teams. He also tells me that he used to be a pretty good wrestler, so this dude is pretty talented all around. Fire trucks rushing towards a wildfire that broke out on Saturday in Carolina Forest. Karen Lawrence was at lunch when her husband called her.
As he got closer, he saw flames behind a house in the woods. He said, "Let me go, I gotta call 911.
Lawrence came home to find smoke filling the air and first responders blocking the road, working to contain that fire. As the evening continued, plumes of smoke became less and less.
I'm praying this will get under control before it gets too much more out of control.
But that fire doubled in size overnight, going from 600 acres to more than 1,200. Dozens of neighborhoods were forced to evacuate, like neighbor Daryl Randolph, who got a knock on the door just after 3 a.m. That's when he saw what was happening.
I was like, wow, I think I need to evacuate.
As daybreak came, hot spots continued to flare up.
I have seen several neighbors putting out fires in their individual grass yards.
This fire has covered a lot of ground, burning for miles up and down Carolina Forest Boulevard. And as of Sunday evening, there are still some hot spots that continue to burn. But it was Sunday morning when the fire in these woods near West Walkerton Road began to flare up.
I didn't realize how bad the fire was. You just hear like a tornado going off in the middle of the trees.
It took seconds for that flare up to threaten homes, forcing first responders to go door to door to get people out.
Fire's jumping this way right now.
Local crews and firefighters from the PD and North Carolina all worked to reduce the fire. Then finally, the sound of relief. Helicopters and air tankers dumped water, helping to control the fire. Meanwhile, the Red Cross opened a shelter at the Carolina Forest Rec Center, giving evacuees somewhere to go.
And at this time, we're doing our best.
At its height, the shelter had over 100 evacuees staying there. And after more than 24 hours of battling those flames, crews were able to contain the fire enough for folks to return home. For many evacuees, this was a weekend of uncertainty and shock. But there's one thing that was for sure, their thankfulness for those who work to keep them safe.
Very proud of them. They're very responsive, and they took care of us.
In Carolina Forest, Stephen Schlink, WMBF News.
Hey, Mom. I just wanted to call and tell you I love you.
A voice Michelle Robinson hasn't heard in nearly 12 years. It's the voice of her daughter, Amber Burbilia, who was brutally murdered on May 3rd of 2013 near North Myrtle Beach. WMBF News spoke with Robinson back in 2013 about her daughter's death.
The hardest part is missing her. I miss her so much.
And while that longing continues, so does her hope for an answer to a question she's had since her daughter's murder.
Who would do this to her? She lit up the room.
Burbilia's body was found here underneath this overpass. That's Robert Edge Parkway. Her car found underneath it, still running, and her phone still ringing. While a memorial now marks the place where crime scene tape once occupied, Robinson continues to push for answers. This case has now been marked unresolved, and it joins a list of other cases throughout the county.
So we do have a number of unresolved cases here in Horry County, dating back as far as 1976, that we still continue to look and review periodically.
Horry County police say there are currently 57 unresolved cases in the county. Robinson says she's long felt the county was way too quick to mark her daughter's case as unresolved. How did that make you feel?
Abandoned, just abandoned.
Captain Lentz says the department has dedicated detectives for the unresolved cases. He says it's tricky because they have to come up with a theory, test that theory, then see if that theory checks out or if the process has to start all over. He says there is one person who could put this entire case to rest immediately.
There is at least somebody out there who particularly knows what happened to Amber Birbiglia. And I offer that person today, if they have the ability and the means to come forward and sit down and speak with us and explain what had occurred.
Robinson says at the end of the day, she's confident there will be a resolution to this case.
I got faith in God that the justice system will work out.
Lentz says they continue to meet with Amber's family and will not stop working to catch the person who took Michelle's whole world.
We will not give up. We will do everything we can to be able to find the person responsible.
A promise Robinson continues to hold on to. And this voice,
I love you. Good night.
is what keeps Michelle working to get justice for her daughter.
I will do whatever I have to do to try and find out who did this horrible thing.
Eric, Rachel, Scott Heisey shared this surveillance footage right here you see beside me with me earlier today. This is from early yesterday morning. That's when he says his truck was stolen from him right outside of his driveway. He says while the search for whoever stole that truck enters into a third day now, he does have some words for that person.
The Lord was looking out for him.
that I was sleeping heavily that night and I didn't hear it go off.
That's the message the former K-9 handler and presidential security detail member has for the person who nearly made off with his truck earlier this week.
My ringer's on this time if he wants to come back and try again.
While he wasn't able to stop the thief, a stroke of luck seemingly was, as Heisey ended up finding the truck abandoned just across the street from his home, stuck in a ditch. While Heisey is thankful to keep his ride, he tells me there is another aspect of this crime that concerns him far more than just finding a new set of wheels.
The truck's just a piece of furniture, really. You can replace it, but you know, he's 30 foot for my wife, and that's an issue.
Others in the community see it as an issue too, telling me similar robberies and thefts in recent years have impacted dozens of folks in the area. One of those locals wanted to remain anonymous, but says this troubling alleged trend of crime has her considering a major life change.
We don't want to stay in our home anymore, move back here for the quiet peacefulness of it, and then now you're dealing with this for so long that we don't want to live in that place anymore.
And while Heisey does have a bold message for past and potential future thieves in his area, the now disabled veteran is showing sympathy, telling me he wishes Monday's incident could have had a more positive outcome for everyone.
It's just a shame. I'd like to help him. You know, I mean, anybody could walk up my door and knock on it, and I won't be there for you.
We did reach out to Horry County Police to check in on the status of this investigation. A spokesperson tells me Monday's theft is currently under investigation. They also encourage anyone who has information on any ongoing crime to reach out to police so that they can look into it. This week, the Myrtle Beach Police Department released this never-before-seen dash cam video and leaving a mess for many of you to now clean up. Now, take a look at some of these images into our newsroom. These are from our chief meteorologist, Jamie Arnold. You can see these trees down, that damage from yesterday from what he says could have been 70+ mile-an-hour winds. Check this out. If you're like me and you love Disney, you're going to want to put those Mickey and Minnie ears on for this one. You might have a chance to purchase a Disney-inspired mansion in a small Utah town. And we see a few folks still walking along the beaches out there tonight. Let's go ahead and bring in meteorologist Jace Passmore now. Jace, beautiful day out there today, and for the next couple days at least, we can expect a little bit of the same. Police are investigating a shooting that took place at the Summer Sands Motel, which is just off of Ocean Boulevard right here in Myrtle Beach. Well, fire crews are battling a fire inside the former International Paper Mill in Georgetown County. The department says the robbery happened this morning. One of the two victims tells officers they did not know the robber, and he says his wallet and phone were taken. Well, this weekend marks 12 years since then 23-year-old Amber Birbiglia was brutally murdered near North Myrtle Beach. FBI says they're investigating a, quote, targeted terror act in Boulder, Colorado. You can see that scene unfolding here in this video. One man is recovering after being shot in a nightclub up in Marion County. Marion County Sheriff's deputies say the shooting happened early on Saturday morning. Meanwhile, on the West Coast, the FBI in Los Angeles has identified this man as the person who's accused of detonating an explosion outside of a Palm Springs fertility clinic on Saturday. We did ask Horry County Police if they've considered opening an investigation into De Silva. A spokesperson for the department says no criminal reports have been filed. Just into the newsroom, Horry County Fire Rescue says they are on the scene of a 3-car crash. We're told it's in the area of Highway 378 and Pitts Landing Road near Conway. Again, Matt, I got to go out there. You saw that camel, Benny. It's a pretty cool little attraction out there in the Conway area.
It really is. Who would have thought we had camels and...
On Friday evening, I want to show you this drone video that you can see right here. Just that devastation, heartbreaking to see. Lauren Levitt reports on how those residents are picking up the pieces. What an incredible opportunity for those students to hear from somebody who's living their dream.
And of all places, Roseville, North Carolina.
Exactly.
Because like we were Googling in between the show. Is he from North Carolina? Actually from outside Atlanta.
Yeah, just outside of Atlanta. So
who would have thought? That's kind of a nice little sweet treat.
I know. And another sweet treat, of course, temperatures this week. All right, Jace, thank you. Speaking of CCMF, we're just a few days away now from kicking off the 10th anniversary of the fest. This is what it looked like yesterday. All right, so essentially, CCMF, not a washout, but just have that umbrella ready.
Yeah.
Okay, we can deal with that. Are you looking forward to seeing anybody out there at CCMF?
Yeah, Jelly Roll.
Jelly Roll, I'm right there with you. He and then, of course, Rascal Flatts returning for the 10th anniversary.
Yeah, that's going to be a really good show. I'm excited.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thanks, Jace, and thank you at home so much for staying up late with us here at 11.